All right, so here we are, we're back at the trailer again, and I am back at the storage yard. So this time, this video is going to be all about stabilization. So I'm gonna put some stabilizers across here, and then I got another one for the back. So with that, let's get to work and start saving some money. All right, so our trailer is a fifth wheel trailer. So you have a little bit of overhang in the master bedroom, and then it has a 4-point stabilizer. It doesn't have the 6-point, it has a 4-point. But everything, the back stabilizers are just below or just behind the wheels. So everything that's past that shakes around. Well, when it's my wife and I, my son, his dog's 120 pounds. So he can, the dog alone can get the trailer shaking and whatnot. So, today's attempt is just to solidify the trailer, keep things from shaking and rocking, and kind of make the camping experience a little bit more enjoyable. I mean, we're already glamping, but come on, let's just solidify things up and you know, keep the rocking, stop the rocking. So anyhow, we're gonna get into it. All right, these are the two things I got. This one is from Amazon. MORryde is who makes this X-Brace. But this one, MORryde makes one, but it was probably 3 times the price of this one. So I'm gonna give this guy a try. It just goes into the receiver hitch. And then it's got legs and a little feet, and then a little ratchet tie that goes across it. I made kind of the ghetto version out of 2x4s. I'm sure there's videos all over YouTube on that. And it was amazing. It worked really, really well. So I'm hoping this goes into the receiver hitch and it does every bit as much, because this is more adjustable, whereas the wooden ones aren't adjustable. And then again, this X-Brace goes right here across the front. Everything's super easy bolt-on stuff. So I'm just gonna set up the tripod. We'll do a quick time lapse and put everything together. Okay, so real quick, the tools that are needed are in the PDF of the instructions, which they do a really good job. But so it needs a 9/16 wrench, a 7/16 wrench, the same socket, 9/16, 7/16, and then you're gonna need a torque wrench. You need 10 foot-pounds on the braces that go on there, and I'll show you where all that is. So I'm gonna kind of mock it up and get it going, and then we'll talk a little more. So it does come with the full PDF instructions. I downloaded these from the internet, but every little step of the way, super explanatory. All right, so somehow I didn't record all of that. Anyway, so one of these brackets goes on the U-bolt. These are torqued down to 10 foot-pounds each. If you don't have 2 inches here, then you put it down here next to this, and then so you get a little less leverage, I guess. But anyway, so it goes down here, and then you use the other little spacer that they give you to go around here to just take up the slack, because this is thinner than this is. But otherwise, you put this in. This one faces towards the back. That one is over here on the front, so that the bars can go across from each other. You can't mess it up as long as you put the top and the top. Put the bracket up, they have it to where you can't mess it up. So anyhow, I'm gonna move down to the feet here and go from there. Okay, so these instructions, if you can see here, it shows it to be just not on the foot, but they explain it to take this pin out. The main thing is you want to make sure this bracket, when it goes on, is corresponding to the one that's in the front over there, and not corresponding to the same side as the side you're on. So you got to flip it. So you need it opposite of each other, because otherwise the braces won't fit. So again, the instructions say take this out, put this in, and this guy goes through, and this goes there, and then you bolt it, which I guess I could do, but I was gonna just put it on. Why not? I was gonna put it on up here, like the picture shows. So then you don't need this anymore, and then you just put your bracket in here. I don't see why that's going to be an issue. Let's make sure this goes through still. Yeah, so that's not going to hit with that. So I don't know. I guess again, the further you go, the the better the support. I'd rather it be down here than pushing against the leg. So I'm gonna do it like that. Need to change my socket. This is the 9/16. Ooh, that's not gonna fit. That'll be an issue. This fits, but I'm not gonna be able to torque it. Guess I could put it on the backside, but that's not a true. Go like this. If you put it on the backside, it'll still tighten, but it's not a true torque. So I don't know that that's the play. And that is a couple of threads and it's done. All right, genius. I just figured it out. You big dummy. Go this way. That's more better. Same torque spec, 10 foot-pounds. Everything's 10 foot-pounds, so that keeps it simple. I got the camera in the way to be able to torque this. Hit the camera with the wrench. That's 10. I think I'm gonna go with that. And if I don't like it after the first use, I'll swap it out. But I think I'm going with that. Okay, now the directions say that the threads on the cross braces are supposed to be an inch out on both sides. It says before installing the cross braces, make sure there's an inch of thread showing on each end. So we'll pull this out until we have an inch of thread. In case if you didn't know, that's an inch. Whew. Easier said than done. That's the adjustment pin, so you got to pull that so that you can extend this, and then we'll put this guy down here. Okay, so the fat part goes to the top, and then the skinnier part that slides goes to the bottom. I'm gonna bring you in here. Okay, so it came with, these are the pins that were in the bottom originally. These are those brackets that I told you about that go here if you don't have the space up here, and then extra plates and that kind of stuff. So how do you adjust it? So you find a hole where these holes are and you twist it until it matches up. So like right here's a hole. So if I put the pin in here, that'll lock this in place. And then vice versa here. There's a hole there. That's the wrong way. One more right there. And then this guy will go in. Piece of metal there from shavings. And then lock those in. Now, when you twist this, it twists everything. And that just puts tension that way. Going the wrong way. There's the tension we want. You just do it by hand, is what they say. That's the wrong way. You can see if it's screwing in, then it's making it looser. Screwing out, it's making it tighter. And then that puts the torque on it, the tension on it. Now, if I shake this, cool. It's way better. That is crazy. You know what, let me take this off and show you. That's nuts. All right, so I don't know how to explain this other than I'm really not pushing here, and it really shakes and rocks and moves all over the place. When I tighten that down, I was really putting a lot of oomph into it, and whenever you see this on a video or whatever, it's hard to tell how much of a difference it is. You're like, oh, that person's not even pushing, they're just selling the product. But I'm telling you, this locks it down. The whole front does not shake. Side to side, there's no shake whatsoever. It is insane. I'm camping this coming weekend, so that's why I wanted to get these on. I'm gonna be really excited to see what a difference it makes in the trailer while we're camping. So anyhow, I'm gonna put that thing together, put it on the back, show you what that looks like, and then we'll go from there. These are the 2x4 ones that I made. They're just 2x4 braces with an angle cut at the top and then a 45 at the bottom. And you just string a ratchet tie in between that eyelet and the other one that you put on the other side. And then you cinch it down, and it solidifies the rocking. It solidifies all the rocking in the rear of the trailer. So it's kind of crazy. It's a simple concept, but that's what this thing does. It just goes in the hitch. So I'll show you how it works. All right. Let's try this view, see how this works. But those are the legs, and you can see how they're adjustable. Just put the pins in the different spots. I'm gonna get all the parts and pieces out, and then I'll put it all together. All right, it's pretty straightforward. The big hole goes here with the big hole. It's a shame that there isn't any plugs or anything here, but it is what it is. Like I said, it was way cheaper, like a fraction of the price. So you get what you pay for. This came from overseas. So if it serves its purpose, I'll be good. That goes in there. And this is the adjustable piece. Pin down there. That's where the foot will go. That goes in. Okay, so it's together, and this just goes in here. I'm gonna use a regular pin. I'll probably get a locking one because this has a thing where you can leave it, and then these guys connect, and you can just leave this back here at all times, or you can put it in the bin. If you put a locking one on here, I don't know if I'm gonna leave it here or if I'm gonna take it off as part of my setup and tear down routine. But this pin just goes through like a normal pin. Then you can extend these guys if you want to go out further. See, that's the other reason why maybe I don't want to use that. So you can go really wide with these. Where's the hole? That's the last hole. So this is the widest it'll go. And then same thing on this side. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. And again, this is the main reason why I got this versus the DIY version. Oh, this isn't gonna reach. I have other ratchet ties, but basically this hook's here. This hook's on the other side. So there's a complaint already. If you want to maximize the width, you're gonna have to use your own ratchet tie. I'm gonna get my own. Okay, longer ratchet tie. And there was one other complaint. There's a little burr right here and I'm gonna cut my fingers on, I'm sure. So I'm just gonna file it down now before it becomes an issue. A couple seconds to clean it up, no big deal. Hook this on one end, hook this on the other end, and then tighten it up. So that's the wide base. It's low in the back, so it won't always be so far out. So as the back goes up, then these will go in. But spiders at storage is crazy. But let's hang on to the ladder here. Okay, bouncing. Wonder if that was more vertical, if that would be better. Now, I don't have any of the other stabilizers on, so it's hard to tell. Oh, that's way better. Still bounces, but again, I don't have any of the other stabilizers on. That's me bouncing with my weight. Let me see if I take this off. You can see that's way better. So I think in combination with the front, this, and everything, I think it's gonna be in good shape. So I keep these ratchet ties in my truck anyways, so no biggie there. But like I said, this can technically go like that with this dude that goes in between. You just put it through the pins and you just leave it there. But I don't, like I say, I don't have a locking pin, so I'm gonna throw it in the storage bin and set it up for the next one. All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Like I said, I got a trip coming this weekend, so I'll be able to see how well these two in conjunction with each other work, and I'll put an extra little comment in the or post in the comments or whatever about how well it works. But other than that, pretty straightforward, super fast. Both of them took no time at all. More time putting this thing together than it was to put it on. I'll store it in the bin. The other one stays on. You just have to pull those pins when you roll the legs up and down. So other than that, that's it. So hope to see you in the next one. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but hope to see you there. Thanks.